Please don't sue us.
You can't drink a toast with water.
This guy's addicted to priests who want to poison him without his knowledge.
Of people it's okay to be addicted to, I would say people trying to poison you are definitely pretty high up on that list.
How did this species evolve? They're robots, and they look extremely cumbersome. If they were made, who makes stuff like this? And if they're a naturally occurring species, why did natural selection take time off to let them survive?
There are plenty of species that have the traits you just described that survive fine in the wild. Tortoises, for example.
How are the stones not safe on Earth anymore if this kind of microchip finger thing is required to even unlock the room they're in?
There are plenty of ways of getting into a room without using the key. I mean, personally, if I had universe-ending weapons, I would prefer not to keep them in a room that any old Joe Schmo can enter if they happen to have a pickaxe.
Discount Star Destroyer.
Well, that is a fun similarity that you've just spotted. But are there any other similarities between the Fifth Element and Star Wars? Well, there's a wise old man with a beard and brown robes, grunting in the news to help a secondary foe. A flying yellow car being driven by the hero as he dives down through the traffic trying to get down low. There's a big sphere of death about the size of a moon, a chick with tentacles for hair whose poon is blue I would assume. A part where the female lead is forced to be nude until she's saved by the hero of the story who's a blonde. An annoying side character we wish wasn't there, a brown thing like a sailboat that floats through the air. A military woman who has pastry-shaped hair, a plastic-headed padding with an extravagant lair. A planet that's destroyed by a big laser beam, a great big sci-fi city that's all futury and lean. Ships with controls that don't get that much time on screen. A moon so near its planet it should crash down violently. When our Yankee hero meets a Brit, then he does listen as he's taught all about this ancient powerful religion. Finds out about a woman born from a powerful position who's been subjected to a most unpleasant scary inquisition. And in the climax the hero makes a decision to destroy an evil ball with the power of religion, saving loads of people despite dangerous conditions. And all thanks to him our heroes succeed in their mission. Yes. So I would say there's quite a few in it.
Huge ass ship either has no weaponry or simply never returns fire. Either way, sin.
Jeremy Sin's a big ship for not having guns, but I'm fairly sure that those are a thing.
I might remove a sin for naked Mila Jovovich, but come on, that's unique or rare.
Rude.
This Earth culture has the ability to rebuild an unknown super creature from the DNA of a single hand, but still needs any kind of help defending itself from attack.
Yes, that planet of fire should be terrified of Earth's ability to clone living organisms. We're being attacked by a planet of fire. What should we do? Do not fear, for I have the solution. Our saviour, how will you repel such a formidable foe? Well, you see, I have this machine. And all I have to do is put in a severed body part, press a few buttons, and voila! A naked woman. We're saved!
Perfect being does not come pre-programmed with English.
You think that English should somehow be encoded into the DNA of this being?
Please help.
I realize she's desperate, but for all she knows, these words mean kill babies.
Lee Lucy's written words and somehow magically knows how to pronounce them, even though English letters are just sort of random squiggles that don't actually relate to the sound they make in any way. Can you speak? No. Can you read? Oh yeah, no fucking problem.
There was a man with a limp. Came here about a month ago asking questions about the stones. He said he was an art dealer.
And you didn't think that was suspicious at all?
Okay, I'm kind of tempted to add a sin here for the idea that that's inherently suspicious behaviour when it's not. And I will. But I think an even bigger sin here is the idea that even if he did find that suspicious, that somehow would have changed something. I mean, even if he found it super suspicious, what course of action do you imagine this priest would have taken?
They really make her...
Perfect. I know.
Yeah, if she got a boob job, said some casting directors.
Rude.
3,000 round clip.
There's no way this gun holds 3,000 of any kind of bullet.
If we assume that the rounds this weapon holds are compact as 1 centimetre squared each, which for a world in which we have commercialised space travel doesn't seem that unreasonable, then to hold 3,000 rounds, that weapon would need to have a space of at least 14 centimetres by 14 centimetres by 14 centimetres. Now, I can't really tell how big that gun is, but I guess what I'm saying is that doesn't really strike me as impossible.
Wait, does this apartment have blinds but no window?
I'd like to remind you that this is what's immediately outside Dallas's window. But when we look at the blinds, we have the light from what looks like an uninterrupted sunset seeping through, with no buildings or anything in between the sky and Dallas's window.
You rigged the contest?
Why would the government need to rig a contest to send Dallas to the planet? Is it illegal to go there if you don't win a contest? Can they not buy tickets to this Divas concert?
Well, to put it simply, what they need is for Dallas with no warning out of the blue to go to a popular holiday destination. And that's going to look a lot less suspicious to his friends and family if he suddenly won the tickets than if the cover story was that he'd suddenly decided to go on a vacation without telling anybody beforehand, all while living on a taxi driver's salary. Oh, and while we're on the subject, this movie does appear to be saying that there'll be a point in the future when all cars can fly, but still need to be driven by a human being. Also, this is yet another movie that presents the notion of flying cars as something amazing and wildly futuristic, even though we already have them and they are called planes. The reason we don't use them as personal vehicles like this isn't because we lack the technology, but is because it would be wildly impractical for a variety of reasons.
Hi.
Oh, you speak English now?
Yes, I learned.
Lilu learned English by reading it and has only ever heard it spoken in an American or English accent, but for some reason she speaks it with a completely different accent.
I want all positions.
I guess this would be the Lightyear High Club then?
In a world where there is such a thing as a light year high club, I don't imagine having sex on a spaceship would qualify you for said club if said spaceship was parked firmly on the ground when you did it. You know, like this one is.
You must give her the stones.
This blue alien chick has a freaky alien sounding voice when she's speaking to people, but when she's singing, she has a regular old human singing voice.
She needs your help and your love. Or
Oh wow, she sure has a lot of blood on that, and oh good, she's touching my face. Yay.
How did you survive with 4 bricks stored in your body? How did you even sing?
She's an alien with alien anatomy. Maybe she has some kind of huge stomach for storing food reserves. Or maybe she has a womb that when she isn't pregnant is just a load of empty space up inside her. Or maybe she has an organ like the human appendix that she can live without perfectly well, that she's replaced with the stones. Or maybe she has a really stretchy butthole. You know what, I think I've got my point across. Oh, and if the presence of the stones did somehow stop her from singing, then there's this kind of niche performance trick she could have used. Not that many people have heard of it. It's called lip-syncing.
Count to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
But to be fair to Dallas here, it's probably better with explosives to underestimate the time than it is to overestimate.
everything you create is used to destroy.
Well, not the flu vaccine, at least. And the paintbrush. A few other things, too, I think.
To be fair, she is on the right track with this one. Although I'd say a more accurate statement to say would have been, humans, everything they create, they look at and ask, this new technology is cool and all, but can I use it to either kill my enemies or stimulate my genitals? And that's the real question here.
You learn about that on your screen.
I'm not finished yet. I'm up to V.
In the sentence Lilu is using to tell us that she's only learnt words that start with letters of the alphabet that come before V, she uses the word yet, which starts with a Y.
So you've learned about both penis and vagina then, right?
And to be fair, she would have known about that since she passed C and D.
She hasn't run across battle, murder, fighting, or explosion yet.
There are plenty of words for atrocities and such that start with letters before W, yet the ones that you chose all have meanings that are a lot tamer than war.
Also, I like how she's somehow horrified at the footage of war when she's already lived through the same kind of
I like how she's shocked by an image of the KKK, even though I'm guessing she already knows about them. Because, and I'm fairly sure about this, I think KKK starts with a K.
Why isn't there a rusty robot missing a key standing at the entrance?
Ah shit, I'm stuck on the wrong side of this door. Oh well, I guess there's nothing to do now than to not move for several hundred years.
So now we have to open them.
Jesus, how many pointless steps are there?
You say that these are a load of extra pointless steps, but I would say there aren't nearly enough extra steps. You know, when the point of said steps are for security, for the most powerful doomsday weapon in the entire universe.
Fall.
You know, I kind of want to know what she would have said if she'd been able to talk long enough to get to Earth on that list. Rain falls, fire burns, wind blows, and Earth just kind of sits there not doing shit.
I think mine is broken, huh? Well, I gotta get the broke one.
All of the stones open when they come into contact with their given element, except for the air stone, which has been completely surrounded by air this entire fucking time, but decides not to open until it's blown on slightly.
Scanner imaging has confirmed the dark planet dead.
That's great, but isn't it f***ing with the orbit and or gravity of Earth and the Moon?
Ooh, I can answer that question for you. Yes, it most definitely is. But then again, the moon as depicted here is also so close to the Earth that it should have fucked shit up a long time ago.